I want to share with you the 3 most important steps to you getting what you want in life, no matter what it is. So pay attention. Step number 1, acknowledge and BSF. What is BSF? Be a solution finder. My clients hear me tell them this all the time, whether it's in movement, in training, or coaching. It's easy for us to determine what we can't do or why we can't do it. If you can figure out what you can't do and why you can't do it, then you can certainly find a way to do it. Don't tell me how you can't, tell me how you can. You have to acknowledge the problem or challenges in your life, and once you do that, you have to be a solution finder. You see, most of us will find reasons why we don't have what we want, and until you decide that you are the cure for your problem and that you are the solution finder, you're going to be placing blame everywhere. Whether you lose your job, you can blame your boss. You can spend your energy on blaming that person, or you can turn your energy towards finding a new one. And maybe you find something that you love even more. Okay? You can have a challenge or an argument with your partner in a relationship, and you can waste your energy blaming them, or you can decide, how can I make this better? Regardless of what the other person chooses. You see, you are the cure to your problems. You are the solution. And as long as you're willing to acknowledge the challenge and be the solution finder, you'll find that solution. Step number 2 is you have to take action. And I don't mean take a little action. You have to take massive action. You see, you already figured out what doesn't work. You're unhappy because what you're doing isn't working. So you can't keep doing the same thing. If it's not having boundaries in relationships, if it's being a doormat, if it's sitting on your couch instead of getting up and moving, if we keep doing the same things, you're gonna have the same result. You have to take massive action. You have to be willing to do what you haven't done before. You have to put your foot down. You've got to use your voice. You have to know what you want in life. To take massive action, you have to know what you want. And when you figure out what you want, you better take action towards that immediately and constantly. And last is follow through. The 3rd step. If you don't follow through, if you stop every time an obstacle gets in your way or every time you come up against a challenge, you're never going to have what you want. You have to be willing to do what you haven't done before, and you have to be willing to keep doing it. Remember back to a time when you were successful. Maybe you won an award, maybe you climbed up a mountain you didn't think you could, whatever it was. Maybe you resolved a relationship that you thought was done. Whatever it was, think back to the mindset you had when you became successful in that moment. What did you do? You were unwilling to stop. That's what you did. You followed through until you got what you wanted. We can use that same strategy in anything in life. You have to know what you want and be willing to follow through with it. So whatever it is, if you make a plan, if you set goals, then be willing to see them through regardless of what happens. Otherwise, you're going to land in the same space. If what you've been doing is creating unhappiness for you, if what you've been doing is not getting you where you want to go, you've got to be willing to acknowledge that you have the solutions within yourself. You've got to be willing to take action, and then you've got to be willing to follow through without fail. Get up and keep going. It does not matter if you fall down. What matters is if you get back up. It does not matter how many times you come up against an obstacle. It matters that every time you do, you keep going. That's the difference between those who find themselves incredibly happy and successful and those who complain how life is working against them and life is happening to them instead of for them. When you decide life is happening for you, you identify what the problems are. You become a solution finder. You take massive action, and then you follow through until you have what you want. Don't quit. Don't go back to the same things you were doing. Keep going. Know that you are important. Know that you are powerful. And always stay hungry.